Hello everyone, it's Dave Rhydderch, aka Realtor Dave. Topic today is the 5-year outline for condo apartments in Calgary. What's going to happen to the Calgary condo market, the apartment market in the next 5 years? I have a few different things I want to talk about, but if you want the Coles Notes version, if you own an apartment right now, you're thinking about buying an apartment right now, and you're just wondering what's going to happen to prices in the next 5 years, here's my outline for you. Next 2 years, prices will go down. Probably go down about 4%. In total. And then for a couple more years, they're going to stagnate, maybe start to creep up slowly, and then maybe year 5 we'll start to see a little bit more growth. But essentially, whatever condo's worth today is probably going to be worth the same or less in 5 years, and that's what you need to plan on. Now, if we're going to dig into those numbers a little bit more, why do I say that? So let's talk about what's happened this year. So prices this year, in 2017, are down 4%. We have started to see a improvement in the apartment market, but it is very, very slow. Right now we have about 1,100 unsold units that are new, which is 36% higher than this time last year. However, condos under construction are down 50% from the height in 2015. Those are condos that are currently under construction. So the supply, which got way too high and is still way too high, is slowly starting to dissipate. Now, along those lines, look at the resale market. This time last year, we had about 7.5 months of inventory for the apartment market. Right now, we're about 6.7. So we have started to see that get better. Now, with that said, 6.7 is still not very good. It is still very much a buyer's market. And because of that, because of all the stats I just mentioned to you, we are going to see prices go down still. And they're probably going to go down, like I said, at least the next 2 years, maybe 3 years. I do think price drops will slowly start to slow down, and they have started to slow down. They've been dramatically coming down from 2014, and realistically, they're probably down about 14-15% from the height in 2014. So we're starting to see those price drops slow down, but they will continue for at least 2 more years. And I think it's reasonable to say if you buy a condo today, be prepared that in 2 years' time it's going to be worth 2, 3, 4, 5% less than you bought it for right now. And that's fine as long as it sort of fits in with your planning. Just be aware what you're getting yourself into. Now, here's a question for you: is if you're looking to buy a home or looking to buy an apartment right now, should you? And what I would say to people is it depends what you want to do with this apartment. Because if I'm going to tell you right now, prices are going to be lower in 5 years, and your plan is in 5 years to sell an apartment and buy a house, you have to really look at the numbers. And I would say, you look at what the numbers are. You take what you're buying right now. You kind of go 5 years. You look at the fees to pay, the realtor fees when you have to sell it. But you look at the mortgage paydown you're going to get. Is it a good time, or is it a good idea to buy a place if you're going to sell it in 5 years? Because it might not be. It might be best to stay out of the market. I do believe single-family homes will go up during the next 5 years. So if you buy an apartment, it is going to be the price gains are in an apartment are not going to be the same as they are for single-family homes. So you're just kind of getting further away. Now, with that said, if you're going to buy for 10 years or you're looking to hold on, you want a long-term rental, it could be a great time to get into apartments, especially if you can get a good deal. And that may be the biggest thing is that if you're looking to buy an apartment right now, try and find a desperate buyer. There are definitely some out there. Let's talk about a good aspect of apartments right now is that we're also seeing vacancies go down. And with vacancies going down, we will eventually start to see rents go up. Again, with rents, I see them going down for at least another year. Then they should start to stagnate, and they'll start to creep back up again. But again, if you're looking to buy an investment property, that's something you need to consider. The final thing I want to talk about is where should you buy? And I'm saying where should you buy for maximum value. Obviously, if you want to buy way in the north, you want to buy an Rhydderch or Cochrane, that's where you want to live, that's fine. But I don't believe those areas are going to be good long-term appreciation. Long-term appreciation for condos is centered around the inner city and especially downtown. I think buying in areas like Marda Loop and Bridgeland are great, but both those areas right now are seeing a lot of inventory coming in. East Village, of course, has had a lot of inventory coming in and continues to go that way. The west side of the downtown is doing quite well, relatively doing quite well, compared to the rest of the market. So, if I was to look to buy right now, I'd be focusing in and around that sort of west part of the downtown, more so or even into the city core. East Village has a great long-term plan, but there's a lot of units going in. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of competition across the river in Bridgeland, and same thing with Marda Loop. Marda Loop's a great area to live in. I used to live there and I love it. But there's not great transportation routes up there. To get downtown, you're basically jumping on a bus or you're biking, but there's no sort of C-train and these sorts of things that people in apartments really want. And I guess the last thing I would say along these lines is unless you really want to live there, I would stay away from the outside areas of Calgary, like way in the north, way in the south. I would not be buying an apartment in there anymore. Those areas have been hammered with price drops. People who bought for 300, 350 are looking at price drops of 60 grand from when they bought 10 years ago. And I really can't recommend buying in those areas. Like I said, if you want to live down in Auburn Bay, you want to live in Mahogany, you want to buy an apartment, you plan to be there for a long time, that's great. Just be aware that very likely prices are going to come a long way down. So anyways, guys, that's my thoughts on apartments. I think apartments still are a good method of living, a good way to live, but you just have to be aware these days the prices are probably going down, and what is that going to mean to you in 5 to 10 years down the road? I do find a lot of people are sort of buying places assuming the market's going to be better in 5 years, and maybe it will be, but where are you going to stand? If you guys want to talk more about it, you want more of my thoughts on apartments, I'm always willing to talk about it. I want to cover myself, so I know the ins and the outs, I know the pitfalls, and I know the pros and the cons. As always, you can find me at 403-990-1278, or send me an email to daverhydderch@remax.net. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.